So did you know that the fat that you eat, the actual like fat that's on the label, does not technically make you fat? Do you know that? Did you know that they're the same sort of substance, but your body doesn't treat the fat that you eat? It doesn't turn it directly into the fat that is on your body. Kind of crazy, huh? So navigating the world of nutrition can seem very confusing because of exactly that, but it doesn't need to be. So think of it this way. Have you ever seen an elephant sit down and eat a big old ribeye steak with butter all over it? No, they don't eat that. But they have so much body fat to spare, right? They're massive animals, and they're certainly not the leanest. They're not exactly a horse, and they're vegetarian. So if an elephant can eat salad all day long and be huge and full of all kinds of fat, insulation, then why would we as humans think if we ate salad, we wouldn't get fat? Doesn't make much sense, does it? If we avoid a steak, that'll keep us from getting fat, right? That's what we all think. So if the elephant never eats the fatty foods, yet it still gains literally tons of weight, and we eat salads and we don't because we don't want to gain weight, where is the answer? It doesn't make any sense. The answer isn't found in what we eat. It's found in how much we eat. So let's talk about fat versus fat. So body fat itself has gotten a bad rap. When you hear the word fat, you tend to have a negative reaction, whether it's in the context of your fat or their fat or whatever. It tends to carry a negative vibe with it. But really, body fat does so much for you. Body fat is a critical piece of our bodies. It's a critical thing for our survival. For decades, advertisers have used the absence of fat as a reason why something was good for you. They've advertised fat-free or no guilt, guilt-free, because it didn't have fat in it. Yet we still feel a ridiculous amount of guilt and shame when we look in the mirror and see the fat on our bodies. So when it comes to our bodies, like I said, fat serves a really important purpose. It actually serves three. So the first one is it fuels our brain. Our brain is nearly 60% fat. So when we're thinking all day, when we're processing all that information, it's fueled by fat, and specifically omega-3 fatty acids, which I'm sure you've heard plenty of advertised. They are the building blocks of our brain, and they're really important for learning and memory. So the foods that you hear that are good fats are the ones that are full of omega-3s, things like olive oil, nuts, avocados, and they help with cognitive brain function and just overall health. They also really do a service to our body by absorbing certain vitamins like A, D, and E. Those are all fat-soluble vitamins, and they have to be absorbed into our body through fat. So the second thing fat does for our body, or sometimes they're called lipids, they store the energy. So when we consume excess energy in the form of food, it's converted into lipid form, which is another word for fat. And our body stores it for later. It puts it on the shelf, says we'll save it for later when we need that energy. So in addition to storing energy, it also stores those vitamins I mentioned. So those are on the shelf for later use for your body. And lastly, and I think the most important, it protects us. Our body fat insulates our body, it cushions our organs, and it protects us from anything. It's like bubble wrap around our organs. But there is a thing called too much of a good thing. So if you have too much of that cushion around your organs, that's where the problem comes in. So we've learned that we can carry too much body fat, that it makes us uncomfortable. We feel hot, we feel sweaty, we feel out of breath when we're just doing everyday things like walking upstairs or running after kids, wrangling kids. Oftentimes it causes joint pain or back pain. It causes shortness of breath. Then there are the worse, more life-threatening issues that too much body fat can cause. Insulin resistance, impaired fatty acid metabolism, diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, cardiovascular issues of all kinds. And the discomfort is frustrating. It's so frustrating. It can make you feel like there's no way out. Eating fat does not make you fat. Eating too much food makes you fat. Let that sink in for a minute. Eating fat doesn't make you fat. Eating too much food makes you fat. So our bodies are really, really efficient machines. They waste nothing. So if we consume too much fuel, too much energy in the form of food, our body stores it for later. It's not going to waste it. It's not going to let it go. It holds on to it because our body knows that it may not get the next meal. It is programmed and designed to protect itself no matter what. But there is a way out. Having a regular exercise routine is imperative. Moving vigorously every single day, using our bodies to process that fuel, to burn it up, prevents it from getting stored unnecessarily. It's critical to understand that just because something says fat-free or low fat does not mean it doesn't eventually get stored as fat. Remember, all that excess fuel gets stored as fat, no matter what it's called on the way in. It all gets converted to a lipid form and stored eventually. So it's better to learn how your body uses those fuels so that you can control the storage. Learn how your body uses each nutrient so you can control how much you take in, how much you put out, and you can start to understand that balance. Mindfully consuming your food is what prevents overeating. Tuning in to your body's signals and listening will help you avoid overeating and eating when you're just tired or thirsty. Having an awareness of your emotional and physical state helps you to work with your body to fuel it properly and give it time to process those fuels as it was supposed to, and give your body to function as it was designed. Dietary fat is critical to our bodies, especially the omega-3s. If you consume those, they allow our brain to function properly, and it delivers all those vitamins that I mentioned get stored in there to our cells, and it protects us from trauma. Being mindful of your eating habits and being conscious as you're moving through your day, moving your body every day, it all leads to a healthy body weight and body composition. Avoiding marketing traps such as fat-free or healthy or even whole grain and learning to understand what those types of foods are and what's best for you will help you keep your body running like the well-oiled machine it was designed to be. So in this particular video today, in my blog this week, and in social media posts and on my website all week long, I am going to be taking a deep dive into understanding how food fuels your body. And I really want you to tune in. I want you to share this information with others who are also sharing your frustration and your struggle. Your body is an incredible machine. And I have the instruction manual, and I'm going to be giving it to you step by step by step so that you can figure out how to make it run like that incredible machine it was designed to be. We're going to tune it up. We're going to make it perform at the highest possible level. And then I want you to eat the food your body needs. Move every day. and take a moment to think about why you're eating before you eat. So let that beautiful machine of yours start humming along at top speed, give it the fuel it needs, and treat it well, because it will reward you and it will last a very, very long time. If you don't treat it well, it won't. So go get some good fuel, and I'll see you soon.